Hello everybody, welcome back to part 2 of the Healthcare and Life Science Crash Course. Firstly, I would like to thank everybody who have actually watched and liked the first video and also providing me with all these comments so that I can incorporate into this and my future videos. So thank you so much for your feedback and comments. First part of the video, what we have done is we have covered the different players within the healthcare and life science sector. Now, I would like to touch on the 3 main drivers or the 3 main points which I personally feel that will bring the life science sector to the next level. First is the growth in biotech. So remember in the first part of the video where we talk about pharma and biotech companies being the companies that own the IP to the treatments. So pharma companies are usually more well established and have a longer track record because they have been there for a longer period of time. So the well-known pharma companies you have heard of is likely to be Pfizer, GSK, Sanofi, Roche. And these companies have been there for a long time, and you can see some of their products even in the over-the-counter, so OTC market, such as your toothpaste. Biotech companies, on the other hand, are less well-established in the sense that they are younger, they're smaller, but there are still a couple of very sizable companies out there such as Amgen, Celgene or Novo Nordisk, and these companies are in fact growing rapidly. So you may ask, what's the difference? So pharma, in effect, they traditionally produce small molecule drugs. So what small molecules, if you think about it back in your secondary school science days, molecules and atoms are the smallest building blocks of matters. So what small molecule drugs are in effect are that they are chemically compound, chemically synthesized drugs. And most of the time you have them as your pills or tablets that you eat them orally. Biotech, on the other hand, produce these things called biologics. Biologics are essentially treatments made out of living materials or proteins. These treatments are usually not taken in orally because, as you know, proteins, they cannot withstand the acid within the stomach. They will be denatured and stuff. So usually they're administered through injections or say patches, so they are more targeted. So that comes to one of the key advantage between biologics and small molecules, which is biologics are usually more targeted. Small molecules, because you ingest them, they are so small they can actually permeate your cells, they can travel across your whole body. So there might be chances of off-target side effects. 2. Increasing focus on rare or orphan diseases. So as we know, currently there are very few communicable diseases, except for COVID at the moment, that have not have a treatment or some form of interventions or vaccines in place. So what it meant is that pharma company these days have less and less diseases for them to actually find a blockbuster drug that can cure a drug disease for a large population. So what it meant is that more of these pharma companies are starting to look elsewhere. And by elsewhere, where can they look? They can look into all these uncommon or orphan diseases. And that, to me, is a very promising area for growth in the sense that more people will be able to benefit, as in the pool of people that are usually not looked after, or they have got diseases that are not really being able to be treated or diagnosed, are going to have increasing attention by medical professionals, by all these pharma companies, to actually help them resolve this issue. So I think that is also a very, very promising area. Third point is essentially the growth of next-gen therapy. In the last 2 decades, there have been increasing focus in next-gen therapy. Some of the other names you would have heard of is precision medicine, personalized medicine, cell and gene therapy. And this all comes about because of the improvement or because of the innovations within the biologics field. What are personalized medicine? Essentially, personalized medicine, think about it that way, whereby most of the treatments are personalized or coming from the body of either a donor or from the patient itself. So if a drug or treatment is derived from a donor, we call it allogenic. If it's derived from the patient itself, we call it autologous. So what it meant is that from a spectrum of as huge as organ replacement, so for example, cultivating a new kidney, for example, and replacing the defective kidney, or to the smallest end of the spectrum, whereby it is recoding any defective DNA or genetic coding, that will actually bring about a new level or new form of treatment for patients. So why is this such a promising field? Because if you think about it, there are some diseases such as cancer that have not have a cure. But what next gen therapy promises is that a chance for a cure rather than just a long-term treatment. So that in itself is a very exciting field to look forward to. However, let's not forget that this is a very new, very ever-changing field. And what it requires is that there will be a new model of how life science companies interact, or the players within the life science space interact, the supply chain, how the reimbursement or payment is going to be. As all this is not going to come cheap, because life science company will have to recoup the cost of doing the R&D for treatment for such a small pool of players. So a treatment currently is in the region of about, like, say, hundreds of thousands to millions of pounds. There you go. Those are the 3 top factors which I personally feel will bring the life science sector to the next level. If there are any other factors or trends that you feel that are driving the sector itself, feel free to drop them in the comments below. One more thing I would like to add is that I think COVID-19 has actually helped accelerate a lot of the changes in a positive way for the sector. Why do I say that? Firstly, look at pharma companies and biotech. In the past, they used to work in silo, but right now, we're seeing a lot more international collaboration to try to find and discover drugs quicker and faster for the patients. Secondly, if you think about regulators and authorities, they're usually quite slow, quite rigid. But over the last couple of months, we can see that the drug approval process, which used to take something like 10 to 12 years, being shortened down to just a matter of months. So recently, we can see a lot of vaccines in development going through to phase 3 trial within a short period of 6-7 months. So hopefully, these changes will sustain and continue to bring about more improvements within the sector itself. Lastly, thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate your time to watch all the way to this end, and I am really appreciative of all the comments and feedback that you guys have provided me. Hopefully, you find this informative and you enjoy the video, and you can like it and share it with people around you. If you do think that these are meaningful videos, feel free to subscribe to my channel, and what I'll do is I'll try to create more and more contents of this nature, or actually on other topics, so that we can all learn together. Thank you very much.